everyone to a great song from 1990 by the Quireboys, 7 o'clock. You boys in the States, maybe you heard of these guys. Their first album, A Bit of What You Fancy, had 7 o'clock as a hit, and You Don't Love Me Anymore was another hit. And that was kind of it. They fell off the radar. I did get to see these guys at a small club in Toledo, and they came through, and just a fantastic show from what I remember. But I didn't realize these guys were still around. I read an article about them and researched, and yeah, sure enough, and it reminded me of this song. So here I am. I learned it. I gotta share it. So we'll go over this. I've written this out. This is an open G tuning, one of the guitars. The other guitar is in standard tuning. I'm going to go over both parts and how you can kind of play them on one guitar, because open G really isn't real far from standard. I did see an interview with the guitarist talking about how he did 7 o'clock, and he said when he tuned to open G, he also tuned his 6-string to G. Now, if you're a Stones fan, you know Keith Richards doesn't even use the 6th string, takes it off. It would normally be tuned down to a D, but for open G here, he used a G, tuned it up to G. So I think it just helps with the chords if you want to use that far of a fingering. You know, again, it's a real rollicking rock and roll song, so I don't think it much matters, but I wrote it out that way. 6th string is tuned to G, like he said. Normally it'd be D, but again, 5th string is tuned up to D. The 4th, 3rd, and 2nd are the same. So we have D again on the 4th, G on the 3rd, B on the 2nd, and then the 1st string is down to a D. Okay, so that's the open G tuning. I've written this out. My notes will be available below. For this opening lick, it's a very pedal steel guitar reminiscent of kind of honky-tonk woman. What we're going to do is hit the 3rd string at 14, holding the 2nd string at 15, and bend that 14 on the 3rd string up. All right. In this first instance, and I'll point out when he does it. He does it the 2nd instance too. But we're going to, as we bend it up, also hit 15 on the 2nd again. Then we hit them both and release. So we have this. Then we're going to lift off and catch 12 on the 3rd string. Then we put our middle finger down on 14. It doesn't matter if it mutes the 12th. I left it in there. Again, it's not real. This 14, this E note is real prevalent. Alright, so what we have so far with that 14 up to it, we have this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then back to 12 and 15. It's a real fun lick to do, so work on that a little bit. It's a little bit of technique. Alright, and then we're into the chording. Because we're in open tuning, our chording, if we just lay our finger across the strings, is, remember we're in G. This would be A, all right, but he goes up to A sharp. So 3rd fret, and then we're going to move up to the 5th fret, which will be a C chord. So the intro, it's again barrel house kind of rock. So we're going to be hitting 2 strikes on the open, and then putting our 2nd fret of the 3rd string and 2nd string 1st fret down and back off for 3 more counts. Back down, off, off 2 counts, on, off for 3, then down, and then off. I know that's weird and the timing is strange, but once you get it down, 2, down, 3, down, 2, down, 3, down, and then 1 off, because you're switching chords. And again, that rhythm is the same. So let's do it together slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. I know it sounds odd, but once you're doing it a little more in time, then you just move that up to the 3rd fret. Again, you'll be hammering on the 4th and 5th fret. And then move that up to the 5th fret, hammering on 6 and 7. Alright, so that is the intro. They will come through to that 5. Then they stop and you'll hear this. Alright, so when they stop, he's doing kind of a, this be Chuck Berry crossed with Steve Cropper. So we're going to come in with the 4th string and the 2nd string, sliding into 12 and hitting 12 to, 10, sliding into 12 on the 4th string, catching 12 on the 2nd. Then we're going to slide from 9 to 10, catching 10 on the 2nd. So it's, alright, and then we come back to that very first lick, and then back into the rhythm. Okay, when we're back in the rhythm, think of it this way. We're going to come in with our G, all right, open, hammered on, 3, 5, back to G. That's the first 2 measures. Then we're going to start again and repeat that. So G will actually sound twice. I'll just go through it quickly. Then C, then our G, then we start again. So that makes sense. We go through again to C, and then we're into the pre-chorus. So for up to this point, I suggest that rhythm just playing downstrokes. It really helps with the rhythm. And now we're to the pre-chorus, and we're going to play an E minor, which is a little bit different chord with open G, but it's a down up, all right, and there'll be 8 sets of those. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Okay, and they're singing at the same time. They're singing bop, 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 bop. So the guitar is kind of following along with that, all right? So let's look at the chord first. We're going to be at the 9th fret, covering the 5th and 4th string. And the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st will be at 12. All right, that's an E minor. Okay, so we're going to play down, and then stop, and then up. That's the rhythm. So there's 8 counts, and again, if you're following along with the song, it's much easier. But that's the first half measure of the pre-chorus. Then we go to C. Then we go down to the 2nd fret. All right, this will be, let's see, A. All right, and we're going to add, just like we have to the 2nd string at the 3rd fret, 4th string, 4th fret. and the rhythm's the same. And then we come back to C. Now the C, once we hit the second down and then off, we're going to stutter with 1, 2, 3, 4 stops. All right, so it'll sound like this. All right, and that takes us, I don't know if I did one too many. And that takes us into the chorus. All right, so once we're into the chorus, it kind of starts out, our chords will change, but what we're going to do is hit an open G, and it's just a twice with the 14 bent catching 15, then a release, and then hit 12. Then we move to F, all right, and we're going to do the same chording. Then we go back to our C. So that's where the 7 o'clock time for a party, okay, comes in. So we'll do that twice. The second time through on the C, we do the same after the second hammer on. We stop with 4 stutters, and then we're into basically the intro rhythm, but the standard tune guitar will do a little solo with the harmonica. It's kind of in the background because the harmonica takes over, but I'll show you that when I get the standard guitar out, okay? It's really something because it's more Chuck Berry played on the first 2 strings with the third added in. You can't do because the E string is tuned down, okay? So you really need a standard tune guitar to do that part. Okay, then after the solo, we're into the second verse. We start out the same as the first. The first 2 measures are the same. Open G to our A sharp to C, back to G. We're going to go to G again. When we go to our A sharp, all right, after our second hit, we're just going to strike it down again 4 times, and then another strike down and then off. So it'll sound like this. It follows along with the vocals. It's not, if you miss it, it's fine, but it's there, so I wanted to teach it to you. I've written it out that way, so if you're following the notes, you'll see where he just kind of stutters that. And then we're going to finish out with our C back to G, and then we're into the pre-chorus, which we know, and then the second chorus, which is twice as long. So that second chorus being twice as long, that means when we end on the A, it won't come till the 4th measure where we do the 4 stabs. And then we're into the second solo, if you will, which is the intro rhythm. So the second chorus, like I said, because it's twice as long, it'll be 4 measures long. It won't be till the 4th measure where we come into the second solo outro, which is, again, same as the intro rhythm. But again, because it's twice as long, we won't stab on that C chord until the 4th measure. And then we're into, again, it's like the intro. It's the solo rhythm, it's the intro rhythm, and it's G to our A sharp, and then to our C, and we stop, and they do an outro lick. All right, so with that said, let's do the outro rhythm together just for fun. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the outro. The outro, because we're in open G, we can still do it. It was, I'll show you that next with the open G guitar, so you can play along with it. And then we'll go over it also on the standard tune. So again, remember, we're open G tuning. You can play this ending. This is how you do it. Again, I think it's done on the standard guitar, but it doesn't matter if you're playing an open G. Because our A string is tuned down, we got to switch positions at the last second. So that ending lick, which I've written out, will go like this. Alright, so what we're going to do is hit the third and second string at 12. Then we're going to bend 14 and 15 together with a release, hitting 12 again. Then we're going to move to the fourth string, go 14, 12, and then again we're going to move to, because we're tuned down, we got to move to, this would be, let's see, 16, 15, 14. Then we're going to walk up, all right, to a G note. So we're going to go from 10, 11 to 12. And then he ends it with the G here at 12. All right, so all together, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, got the standard tune guitar out. So the intro with our G to A sharp to C will sound like this. And then the intro lick. Fret. Seen them live. Do it in different positions. Doing it on the, because again we're standard tuning, we can do the notes on the third and second string. And then, you know, again, I still feel it's played up here at 12. If you do it at the first, sounds fine too, but the recording sounds much higher. So that lick we can do here at the 10th to 8th fret, adding the 3rd fret at 9. We're going to bend the second string up, catch the first string at 10. Release. Then catch the 8th fret on the second string to the 3rd fret at 9. Back to 8. And he does it in different positions live. It's a feel song. So verses recorded. If you play along with the recording, do it up at 12. Alright, and then, you know, your rhythm. Alright, and then you're back. Starting again. And so forth. So that's for the verse. So, all right, so during the solo, like I said, there's a harmonica going on also, and we're going to play this. I'll start off, because the timing's off, we're going to pick up with one set of 3 on the second, 3 on the first, and then again, this starts it. All right, so that pickup is just the 3s. Then we do it again. We're going to catch the 5th fret of the 3rd string, and then the 3rd fret hammered into 4, that G. Right. Real typical blues move. You can catch the 2nd string when you play that. It sounds fine. All right, so pick up, and then the actual lick. And then it does it again. Then we move to 6. Then to 8. Then we open 2, B and E together. So that timing, like I said, is weird because we got that pickup note. If you don't play the pickup note, it might make more sense for you. So I'll just show it to you. We'll count it out. I'll pretend to play the pickup note and then do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pickup note and again. Moving to C or the 6th fret. Again. Moving to 8. Again. And then open B and E. And then our pickup note. Alright, so that is how to play that little, I call it solo, with the standard guitar. Now they do that live a bunch throughout the whole song, really. Whenever he's playing the G to A sharp and to B, he's doing that along with them just to change it up and add some flavor and jam with it. So the outro lick, very similar to the open G lick, it's just we don't have to accommodate for our down-tuned A string. It'll sound like this. Alright, so we're going to do 12 on the 3rd and 2nd string to 14 and 15, and then bend that 14 and 15 up with a release back to 12. Then we walk down the scale. We're going to go from 14 on the 4th string to 12, and then 14, 13, 12 on the 5th. And then we're going to walk up to G. So it's like an opposite motion. We're walking down but then coming up to that G final chord or note. Alright, so this so far. 1, 2, 3, 4. At that point, we just move up to the 8th fret, 9th fret, 10th fret hold. It's a great ending you can take to a lot of songs. Alright, so that is the song. I really hope that helped everybody and you know, learn a new song and discover something that's really fun to play, and I'm glad they had a hit out of it. So enjoy.